our next guest will be Matt Halliday, who is the president and CEO and VP of exploration for Canada Silver Cobalt. Now, Canada Silver Cobalt is a vertically integrated company. It's quickly taken the high-grade Robinson Zone silver discovery to a maiden inferred resource. It has an average silver grade of a whopping 8,500 grams per ton and a combined 27,400 tons of material for 7.5 million inferred ounces. Now, Matt himself, he graduated from Dalhousie in 2007, where he majored in earth science. He spent the next 13 years in exploration as a resource geologist with Kirkland Lake Gold, First Cobalt, and SGS Geostat. He's a member of the PGO and is a qualified person for exploration and resource development. Hello, Matt. Are you joining us? Are you in Cobalt today?
I'm in, excuse me, I'm in Halliday, Ontario, which is 5 minutes from Cobalt.
Very close by, very close. Well, welcome back to the Global Mining Symposium. It's great to see you. I'm glad that you're providing our delegates with updates as you continue to progress this. Every time you come on, I use it as an opportunity to remind people that the Northern Miner was founded in Cobalt, Ontario, back in 1915. So it's always warms the cockles of my heart when we see companies up there and really bringing that camp back to life. So I'll turn it over to you, Matt, and you can present and tell our delegates what you've been up to.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Well, I'll just start. You can call me Matt Halliday or Matt Halliday. It doesn't matter. The name itself is versatile in those terms. So yeah, I'm going to just jump right into with my presentation here. And so yeah, we've had a lot of news coming out recently, and I think that it's really important that people realize how much the company is progressing. So as you mentioned, we do have a resource with 8,500 plus grams per ton silver, which we believe is the highest grade silver resource in the world, and that is at our Castle East project in Gowganda, Ontario. We love being in the cobalt mining camp. It's an excellent place for high-grade silver and cobalt. We have been continuing to work at acquiring and developing a large series of critical energy metal properties across Ontario and Quebec, predominantly focused on copper, nickel, cobalt. We also have our green processing technology, Re2Ox, which is able to produce cobalt sulfate on spec for the EV market. So I just kind of want to run into our near-term strategy and goals. We have recently completed a financing for $7.5 million on October 25th, and we are fully financed to continue our drilling program. We initiated a 60,000 meter drill program after our resource in 2020. So we've completed around 43,000 meters so far, and we have a remaining 17,000 meters to drill, and hopefully we'll be completed that by around March next year. We are funded again to do a major update on our 43-101 resource, and I would like to have that out again around the end of Q1 of next year. We also have our environmental baseline study that is underway. We initiated the full data collection of this environmental baseline study in February of this year, and so we're moving into some critical phase now where we're developing the permitting process in draft form, and moving forward, hopefully we'll be in that full permitting process by mid-year and receiving permits. Again, we are transforming the Castle East into an advanced exploration project, and we're getting all of the permits and everything ready to put a ramp down at that deposit. And we really are ambitious about getting that ramp down as efficiently as possible. And I really hope that we can see breaking ground by the end of next year. And of course, we do have preparations to make now to get ready for the PEA, which I would love to have following the resource update. I think it is important to know that recently we have signed an agreement with Goldspot Discoveries. Goldspot is a really interesting history there with me and machine learning and Goldspot. You know, I was also part of the 2016 Integra Gold Challenge, and that's where I think a lot of Goldspot came in and took a large prize at that that event. And I think it really, you know, was a turning point for their company. And you know, I was also part of that event, and we also took a prize at that event as well when I was working for SGS. And you know, I believe in machine learning, and I believe in the technology, and I believe that the way that companies like Goldspot does this, which is really through solid geological knowledge and geophysical knowledge, and making sure that the inputs are standardized properly, and that we understand why we select very specific inputs, and you know, start to build these data-driven targeting exercises based on sound geological knowledge is really exciting. And I think that going forward, you know, it won't be for this particular 17,000 meter drill program because they do take a lot of time. But you know, we have a lot of data that we've collected, a lot of really good data, a lot of geophysical data. And I think that, you know, we have an opportunity on this project to find high value veins with less drilling money, because you know, again, we have collected a lot of this data, and I think the fact that we've advanced the Robinson so far already, it gives it a lot of confidence that we have this drill database that actually we've already discovered veins. We were there, you know, so the fingerprint that we're looking for, it should be well defined. And as I mentioned, we are still doing early stage exploration in northern Quebec. We have 15 nickel, copper, cobalt properties across that province. So I just kind of want to jump into a little bit of highlights here at the castle. So, you know, again, this was just quick for a refresher for people who have seen my videos in the past. You know, this is going back to the end of 2019 and the beginning of 2020. We discovered basically 70,000 grams per ton intercept at the Castle East. And then we initiated a small drill program to put resources on there. And this is some of the results from that drill program. And you can see it's just this spectacular high grade silver and cobalt. And this is what we call classical cobalt style mineralization. And this is what they mined here in the old days. And it's very breathtaking stuff. And I really think that, you know, anyone who has the opportunity to come and visit here in Ontario, come visit the cobalt mining camp, and make sure that before you come, that the mining museum is open, because you can see these things in real life. You can go to a lot of these historic sites, and you can see how crazy this mineralization is and was, and as if I can do anything about it, will continue to be for a long time. So again, you know, we had our maiden resource where we had 8,582 grams per ton for 7.5 million ounces of silver. And we've done quite a bit of stuff since then. You know, we've continued to explore. We went from having only the Robinson vein to now having about 8 or 9 veins, and I think about 5 of these veins are going to be pretty important for developing our next resource. And then, you know, we still have a lot of room to continue to grow well into the future. So here's our big silver vein, or vein number 2. And this is actually, this should be in a museum, this piece. You can see this beautiful dendritic silver, and the silver itself is being rimmed by cobalt. And there's also rosettes in there, of silver rosettes with cobalt rimming. Really beautiful, beautiful stuff. And so, this one here is just under 90,000 grams per ton over 0.3 meters. And it also has a whopping 1.5% cobalt. And you can see texturally, it's so beautiful. It's very different than the other ones that I showed you. There's less iron in here. So it is just kind of basically all silver and all cobalt. As I mentioned, we are heavily geared to that resource update that we're going to be doing next quarter. And, we are implementing similar strategy that we've always implemented to be able to build these resources. And so we've been hitting big silver again and again from surface and from our wedge holes. I'd just like to show the world, I think this is probably my favorite sample, is from wedge number 4. It's just this really dense network of silver dendrites and an amazing 2.22% cobalt over 0.48 meters. I think that's just an amazing sample. And it shows that we can hit this over and over again, and we can get a good resource being built. As we continue to move south of the original Robinson vein, during our exploration program, we intersected 30,000 grams per ton silver at the at our 61 hole 61, which is now what we call the 61A and the 61B. So we opened up 2 veins going south of the Robinson, and I think really interesting for me, maybe not quite so much for the next resource update, but in hole 65 we intersected Archean silver, which is a lot shallower. So in Gauganda, 95% of the production came from the Nipissing diabase. And the fact that we have this beautiful 7,000 gram per ton hit over 0.38 meters in the Archean lithology is a really good sign that we can really open up the vertical extent to which you can find this mineralization, not only shallower, but I would imagine the exact same is true for at depth, that we would be able to find this mineralization the same distance away from the Nipissing diabase at depth. And so that's just a really good indication, and it gives us a lot more targets to be able to find in the future. So this is what it looks like from the surface. Here in the left, we're looking down on plan, and you can see we started off with this Robinson vein, and then we moved to the east. So we found our big silver. I didn't talk in this presentation too much about it, but we do have this zone called the 17 meter, and it's basically a zone of on echelon veins in between the big silver and the Robinson. And I think that'll be a very important piece of the story to developing resources. And then as we moved south, we hit the 61 B and A veins. And so I'll just quickly move forward, but we'll look at vertical plane number 3 here, kind of just cutting across all of those. And so you can see that these are near vertical veins, and they are in very close proximity to each other. We're looking on the order of 10 to maybe up to 30 meters away from each other. And, I think that we have an excellent opportunity to continue to build a strong network of veins. And I think getting underground is going to be the key to this. And I'm really excited that we're taking all the steps necessary to get there. So I'll kind of fast forward to that right now, actually. This is a conceptual ramp design, and we do have these specific claims here that we've highlighted that we want to put into advanced exploration. And we've undertaken an environmental baseline study. We utilize a local company, Story Environmental, and they have been helping us out tremendously with progressing this program. And so one of the things that we really want to do is we want to get down and put this ramp down and start to explore from underground, because I suspect that the next resource that we have will be quite sizable. And I think that getting underground and doing that type of exploration from underground we'll be able to really boost this resource yet again much quicker and get it very sizable, and then convert ourselves into a full mining company. I think the last thing, I'm running out of time, am I not?
Yes, you are. If you could just wrap it up in the next minute here, Matt.
Perfect. I will wrap it up right here. So basically, we have a facility in the town of Cobalt. It's a historic facility. It used to be run by the government, and we have rebranded it Temiskaming Testing Laboratories, which was original name. And so this facility has a grinding circuit as well as a bullion furnace in the basement. So by the time that we're ready to take a large bulk sample out of the Castle East, I think that we're prepared to be able to pour rough doré bars and ship that off to a refiner.
Excellent. That's an exciting piece of news we have to look forward to.
Yeah. So that's the presentation today. And I think, if I could just say one last thing, the last gentleman, Kim, from Stratabound, he said that he's having fun. And I think that sums it up really well. This is a camp that I'm having fun, and I'm having fun all the time, making sure that we can just keep this momentum going. And I was really happy to hear that.
Excellent. We love to hear that as well. This industry can be great when things are rolling. We are at time, Matt, but I do want to get one question in here from the audience, from Bill. Bill is asking, is the current resource only based on the Robinson Zone discovery for just the one vein?
That is correct. It is just the one vein, and not even, and we have continued to grow that vein. So that was it. The original resource was just vein number one, and not all of it.
Okay, we'll have to leave it there. Matt, thank you so much for joining us again. Great to see you. Continued success. Lots of good news flow I anticipate coming out of Canada Silver Cobalt in the next little while.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Cheers. Bye-bye.